Spyder.
Filming Ellen Rosenmeyer today without a cap, without a hat, for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. The wind in my hair, that's the first thing I've got, of course.
The hat would disappear, unfortunately, if it was on.
But this is bucket list. This is my serious, Mike, you have no idea how high this is on my bucket list, okay?
We're driving the vehicle that is in the TV show All Things Motoring.
Yeah, registration ATM1, eh?
Enjoy, Ellen.
You will have seen already in this video, because we're doing parts of this video. I know the sound is terrible, who cares? That's what I say. But convertibles are high on my bucket list. But an Audi R8 has a special place in my life and in my world. And this is an Audi R8 convertible. This is unbelievable.
We call it an Audi R8 Spider.
Spider, I know.
Ellen, it's a privilege to be sharing this vehicle with you.
Mike, you are paid, not my day, not my week. This is making my worst. I can tell you that right now. This car is, I've got to do one thing. Can I do one thing?
Where's the pleasure?
Just get to a clearer lane. Can I just put my foot down for 1 second?
Floor it.
Oh, wow. This is the V8 version, 4.2 litre V8. Oh, this is incredible.
S-tronic gearbox, super smooth, incredibly tractable.
You know what? Mike, did you ever watch or listen to the Goon shows in your youth?
The which shows?
The Goon show.
No.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, there was a character in the Goon show called Echoes. And his favourite saying was, oh, this is living. Well, this is living. That's what this is.
Glad I can make a difference, Ellen.
Wow. That's what I say. Wow, wow.
There's something under your right foot.
That's
it.
Oh my. That is incredible. That is incredible. It really is. I can tell you that much. Jumped into the V8 Coupe now. Mike says to me it's
Not
very
a
different.
V8, my good man.
V10. I said V10,
It's
didn't
a
I?
V8.
Oh, start again. Switch off, start again.
Okay.
Just jumped into the V10 Coupe version now. And you can see I'm reversing down a pretty narrow driveway, and I'm being ultra cautious, I'll tell you that.
But for your viewers, have a look at the view through the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Clear.
Let me tell you, that is a better view than a lot of new cars these days that you get through the rear view mirror. There's certain cars that have these tiny little rear windows, and I'm talking big SUVs that have these minute little windows at the back and things like that, and your rear view, if you don't rely on a camera, is totally and utterly restricted. This is great. I'm taking it very slow at the moment. You can see we haven't got a problem with scraping as we come out of this driveway. Eh?
If you go
Just always
quite slow,
Yeah,
but
I'll
then
take it. That's,
sharp right.
yeah. Okay. And then just across, and that's it, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what this baby can do. Now we just...
Still cold.
In 400 meters.
Okay, we're going to take it very gently for a bit, because it is not properly warmed up yet. But it feels different already, Mike. I've got to tell you.
That's the R-tronic versus the S-tronic.
Yeah.
The R-tronic is a lot more aggressive.
Turn right.
Okay.
Then turn right.
Telling me where to go. I'm putting my nav off.
Yeah. Don't worry about the nav, it's fine. That one I can't get bust for. Okay, we're all clear. I'm going to take it gently. You tell me when we're ready to.
By the time we get
Enjoy
to
a bit
go into
more.
the highway.
Okay, so I see what you mean about the gear shifts. Felt it immediately.
Totally different.
Yeah, definitely
The R-Tronic is very similar to the Lamborghini E-Gear.
Right.
Similar, better,
Okay.
less harsh, but definitely not like the dual clutch on the S-Tronic.
But I can bet if you're driving this hard, it bangs into the gears. Am I
No,
right?
it doesn't. So I'm very used to it.
Yeah.
So I've got the technique. 100%.
Right. But I must tell you, having said that, it's smooth.
Very smooth.
It's not hard and bumpy. I expected it to be a lot harder on the road, if that is the right terminology.
This car's also got something called the magnetic ride suspension,
Aha.
which you'll see at a dice 80, 100,
Right.
anywhere up to about 300. It's very, very smooth.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. That's one thing that I do not do in these cars is exceed the speed limit.
Certainly not on the road. If you've
Correct.
taken on the track ever,
Total different story, but I haven't.
haven't you?
I love my car too much
I
to punish
know.
it on the track.
You know what? There are certain times, places, tracks, etc. I think I must arrange something for you.
If you look at the tires, I'd love that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. If you look at the tires, the sides, there's no graining on the sides.
Nothing,
I'm
yeah.
very, very gentle on my cars.
Yeah.
I know how to drive a car fast, or I like to drive a car fast, but I don't drive a car hard as a general rule. People who've watched the All Things Motoring show might disagree when they see me spinning it for the intro. That was before the tires were replaced.
Okay, but that also was one-off special.
Correct.
Same as I saw you spinning your Jeep Wrangler,
Wrangler, correct.
in the mud. I mean, that was something quite fun, wasn't
Correct.
it?
But now for the viewers,
Yeah.
tell them the big difference in your opinion, driving the V8 for the first time and the V10 for the first time.
Okay, now we're talking coupe to Spider.
Correct.
There is a difference. As much as the Audi Spider is solid and feels solid and there's no scuffle, shake and things like that, I've got to tell you, this car feels a lot more solid. It definitely feels that much more solid than the Spider did. But
Do you feel the difference?
am I allowed to put my foot down yet?
I just like to keep a distance between
Yeah.
the car, but
Okay.
you are more than welcome
Okay,
to
let's see what happens.
explore it now.
There's the difference. There's the difference instantly. 1 second and you can feel as brutal, as incredible, as responsive. How many other words can I give you that the V8 is? This one just, that scream.
This feels like a racing car engine. A
Yeah.
V10 has got an extra 400 revs that it gives you. This
Okay.
one red lines at 8.6. That one red lines at 8,000.
I mean, they both are crazy numbers for naturally aspirated engines. Remember that fact.
8,000 revs is motorbike type revs,
Correct,
motorbike
yeah,
engine.
Exactly, yeah.
But give it, just for the viewers to see, give it a little bit of a floor.
Unbelievable.
I don't think anybody heard that. I didn't hear you through the screaming. Say that again.
Unreal! That's what I say. Sorry, folks, I know I'm screaming, but I said at the beginning of this video, today's bucket list for me. This is bucket list day, because this one we're in now is so much closer to that Rosemeyer show car, the concept car that we showed you.
So for our viewers, 0 to 100, 3.9 seconds at sea level.
Yeah?
And very similar at
I
in
don't think
Joburg. You
altitude's gonna make- yeah.
won't lose a lot
No.
here. Top speed is 316,
Right?
and that is telephone numbers. That is just short of a 200 miles an hour. That's 199 miles an hour. And to the best of my knowledge, there was a reason that Audi did that, because there's certain things that I believe you got to do when you join the 200 mile an hour club.
Okay.
So it wasn't that they couldn't build this car to do 320. It was done on purpose, I believe.
Okay,
at the
well
time.
that's an interesting fact. Yeah, I mean, it's like there was that so-called gentleman's agreement in Germany for a long time.
And they were limited to 250.
250, correct.
That gentleman's agreement didn't last for too long.
Of course it did. Come on. You know what that gentleman's agreement was in my book?
No?
Marketing.
Correct.
Because like on one brand, let's not name them, you pay a bit extra and they unlock
Correct.
to 280, for example, on certain of their cars.
Correct. If
So-
I do remember, it was the three major German manufacturers.
Correct.
Audi, BMW and Mercedes.
Yeah.
I don't think Porsche were part of the agreement.
Not that I'm aware of. Well, look, Porsche were always in a different category.
You can't hold a Porsche back. That's
No,
what we're
no,
saying.
Exactly. I mean, could you imagine buying a Porsche and being told it's... And I'm talking not an SUV, although some of them are just as crazy.
Correct.
But a 911 Turbo or GT3 or something, and being told, sorry, it's restricted to 250.
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
What a mockery.
Now, on the autobahns,
Yeah.
there's a lot of misconception about the autobahns in Germany.
Yes.
The misconception is that the autobahns are unlimited throughout the country. That is completely not true. There are certain sections of the autobahn
That are
in certain
restricted, yeah.
areas, and there's certain places in Germany that unrestricted is no longer allowed.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Correct.
So now, when are you and I going over there and doing an episode of All Things Motoring?
I've got something on Wednesday, but I can fly out on Thursday if that works for you, Alan.
I'll make it work.
Thank you. Just for our viewers, I wish you could see the genuine enthusiasm for Alan. This is a gentleman that is driving literally tens, if not hundreds of different cars a year. I've always admired that Alan is complimentary but honest about all cars. Complimentary in that cars today are fundamentally good. However,
100%.
honest, cars also have flaws.
Yeah.
And Alan, what are the flaws on this car? You can be brutally honest.
Okay, there's one massive flaw on this car.
That you don't own it.
That's the second one.
Yes.
The other one I was going to mention is the fact that I can't bring the wife with on this drive because where's she going to sit?
You're going left here. Just please take it easy around this particular corner. The nice sharp. I feel like a co-driver. I'm like the co-pilot in a rally car. Let me show you where we are.
You know what?
We've just taken the beautiful Bayers Nordia off ramp.
I've got an idea for you co-driving with me one of these days soon, all right?
I'm
I've
ready
got a
to hear
massive
it.
idea. Massive idea.
This is what I call a driver's road.
Oh, this is beautiful. I mean, I'm taking it very
And as
gently.
Alan goes around this corner,
I'm
give it
gonna
a
floor
little
it
bit of
now.
wheelie.
And take off!
Sorry for the bad camera work there. That's not my fault. That's the right foot of this gentleman on my right.
You know what? My colleague who works with me on Motor Matters, William, I've called him Leadfoot. I'm playing Leadfoot myself today. It's the car's fault. It's not my fault.
So Alan, if you could tell our viewers what is for you the most standout feature on this car that you've seen. And remember, bearing in mind that this is a 15-year-old design, 15-year-old technology, what is for you standout?
Okay, the engine, number one. It has to start, and you know what, whether it's the V8 or the V10 version, this is a car built around an engine.
Correct.
And that is why you get the most unbelievable performance. But let me do something quickly. I want to show you something quickly here. Now the old man in me is going to come out, okay? Now I'm actually going to work. I'm on the highway. I'm at 120. And I bet you I could sit like this all day long.
100%.
Travel to work. If there's traffic in front of me, oh well, ho hum, I can do that too.
What is interesting, so Alan, while by no means the tallest guy around, I'm just on 6'1". When I sit in this car, I sit with my seat in the highest position and I still have space. The roof is specifically designed for extra space. My legs are fully extended. That is what is so interesting. If you are 6'3", 6'4", I believe you'll drive this car super comfortably. What I asked Alan about the weak links, as somebody who's owned an R8 now for in excess of 4 years, I can truthfully say and honestly say, if you're looking for an exotic, a supercar, a sports car, look no further than the R8. It is just exemplary. Costs of ownership are exceptionally low. Fuel consumption, believe it or not, is exceptionally good.
Okay.
Yes, it's not 1600 fuel consumption good, but you will get 10 liters per 100 driving this car between Joburg and Middelburg, or Joburg and Nelspruit, or Joburg and Durban at a normal speed.
Yeah.
If you trap on the loud pedal, of course, it's going to exceed that.
Yeah, I can imagine what it would do there. But you know, Mike, what you've said now rings a bell to me. For many for a long time now, the Porsche 911 had a reputation and was called the everyday sports car. I'm sure you've heard that.
Correct.
Okay. This is exactly the same to me.
Yes. So it's interesting that you mentioned the Porsche brand. I'm a huge Porsche fan for many reasons. The quality of their products, their service backup, their customer experience. As our viewers know, I own a Cayenne. However, if you said to me the 911 in particular,
Yeah.
I believe, and I'm not saying I'm right, I'm saying I believe that this is a more complete car. It looks better, it drives better, cost of ownership is immeasurably lower,
There is that.
and
yeah.
I do think it's less common. When you stop at a robot, people wave. When you go past a truck honks.
Yeah.
When you stop at a robot, pedestrians give you the thumbs up. For me, you can't put a price on that. Maybe they're doing a 911 as well. I just don't own a 911.
You know what it is? I'll tell you why. Among other things, the 911 has been around for over 50 years.
Correct.
So, relatively speaking, there are a lot more of them.
Thousands more of them. Look,
And also, because it's got such a great reputation, South Africa has a very high proportion of Porsches, considering, and particularly the 911s, considering our market and our population.
do you want to hear a very interesting statistic that I think viewers will be shocked at, but positively shocked at? It is estimated that 2/3 of Porsches ever made, are still on the roads.
And that's back to the late 1950s.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Bearing in mind that in those days, technology, rust, whatever the case may be, was limited. Rust was prevalent, technology was limited, and yet those cars are still on the road.
And there was something even more important with the early 911, was the performance from a rear-engine car. It didn't exactly have the safest handling.
Correct. But
Sorry
rear
to say,
engine,
but-
rear engine, and what was unique about the early till mid-90s 911s?
Air-cooled.
Air-cooled.
Yeah.
Only Porsche could get that technology
And
right.
get away with it.
You spoke about the handling.
Yeah.
They called the 911 Turbo. What was the nickname of the 911 Turbo?
That was the Widowmaker,
The
wasn't it?
Widowmaker,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Because I said when you went around a corner, your backside would do
Well,
that.
it was a case of saying hello to the rear end of the car as it came past your window.
However, what a driving experience. If there's one motor vehicle brand that deserves all the accolades it gets, that is the Porsche brand.
Oh, yeah.
They never stop pushing the envelope. They are an exceptional company, and as I explained, the ownership experience in South Africa is second to none.
Yeah.
Second to none.
No, their backup and everything else is incredible.
A
that's for sure.
little unique feature that I'd like to show
Yeah.
our viewers on the R8 with the R-Tronic.
Mm.
When you get to a robot for extended periods,
Okay.
you put it into neutral.
Right.
These gearboxes don't overheat, but they got a clutch that is constantly running.
Ah.
So if we left it in the A for automatic for an extended period of time, it would have automatically clicked into neutral. But
Interesting
it's
to
just
hear.
another little anomaly.
Right. But also interesting, I see it's got an A and not a D for dicing.
Okay, correct. Go, you rolling back. Sorry.
It doesn't have D for dicing. It's just
D
got
for
A.
dicing. I like that.
You know, in the early automatic gearboxes.
Alan's so excited.
Do you know the early automatic gearboxes? You had
Yeah.
D for dicing and R for racing.
Yes. Okay. I thought it was D for day mode and R for N for night mode.
Yeah, that's on the newer BMWs. N for night mode.
Give it a little bit of stick. But it's that sound. It's that oral pleasure that you're getting.
Screams.
You're gonna go straight? You're gonna go
Okay.
straight?
It screams a lot more than the V8, that's for sure.
Correct.
But as you said to me, they are they're brothers, but they are so different.
So if somebody said to me, which is the better one? It's very, very simple.
Okay.
If the one was better, the other wouldn't exist. I always give that answer. If you are looking for the absolute, complete, all-round, easy to drive, everyday car, I would recommend the V8. Definitely with the S-Tronic box.
Right.
If you're looking for that ultimate sports car experience, exotic, there's no question that the V10 does shade it.
does.
But which one is better? I can't say. I always use it also term, flip a coin.
But something else that is absolutely apparent is the fact that price-wise, I'm talking new.
Yes.
These cars are relative bargains compared to a lot of similar cars.
No question. So
And
pricing,
that's something that a lot of people haven't even taken into account.
so pricing on the new R8 is up to 3.8 million.
Right.
Where your real value, you're going to go right here, Alan? Where your real value is when you're looking at second-hand, low mileage that you're picking up in the million to 1.5 million rand range. You are buying an exceptional machine that truly cannot be competed with in that price range.
Well, it's a sad reflection on the modern world that R1 million is a bargain.
Correct.
But let's compare.
Sorry to interrupt you, Alan. As we speak, we're going past Audi Centre Bryanston. They are one of the dealerships that can service these cars. And it is important to mention that not every Audi dealership is equipped to service an R8. They've got to be an Audi Sport dealership.
Okay.
In Johannesburg, you've got Audi Centre Rivonia, Audi Centre Sandton, Audi Centre Bryanston. And to the best of my knowledge, those are the three that are able to service
this
them.
car.
You're going to be going right here. See, when I say I'm a co-driver, I really am a co-driver.
You are, but you make it so easy, sir.
Thank you. Right here.
Over here, okay. You make life very easy. Oh, that sound!
And you're going to be going right again, Ellen?
But that sound is unbelievable. And that's just in suburbia when you just give a little squeeze. I mean, I'm trying not to drive too hard here because this is a car that's like your little dog. It's sitting up and begging to be driven.
Now, you'll notice we've been driving this car at all times in the full automatic mode.
Right.
And not with the paddle shift. There's just, and again, it's very nice too, but there's no, you're going to be turning right here, Alan. There's no need to drive this car in manual. The gearbox is just that good.
No, when I organize you a track day with this car, that's when you start playing with pedals and things like that. And I'm going to organize that for you. How does that sound?
And this 20-minute video has been incredibly fun to make. Alan, I consider you a personal friend. It's an honor to know you. I love your work and glad that I could share today in a little piece of your work.
Mike, thank you so much. Bucket list item ticked. For Motor Matters, for change cars, for all things motoring. I'm Alan R. See you next time.